There, Hanuman sees them. Hanuman approaches them in the guise of a Brahmana. And then after talking, thinking that they were strangers, they are the emissaries of Vali. They have been sent by Vali to kill Sugriva. The first time, the beginning they thought like that. Then Hanuman approaches them. After ascertaining that they were not emissaries of Vali, Hanuman reveals his true form and takes Rama and Lakshmana on his shoulders to Rishyamukha to help them befriend Sugriva. Sugriva was very happy to see them, to receive them. And Sugriva tells Rama about his tale of woe, suffering. Rama also was in the same predicament because he also had lost his wife. Sugriva's wife also was in the captivity of Vali. And also Vali banishes Sugriva. This way he is residing on the Rishyamukha mountain. So first it was Lakshmana who consoles Rama because Rama found it too difficult to bear the grief of separation from Mother Sita. And Lakshmana actually asks Rama to bear courage. If you lose courage, how it would be, oh, brother? Hold on, he says. But Rama finds it too difficult to console himself. Now actually Sugriva consoles him. We understand the importance of friend only when we are in distress. One should have at least one friend, good friend, to confide, to sometimes, the human mind is such a thing. It always fluctuates. Sometimes we are in good mood, sometimes, the moods fluctuate. And it's very important. Even a person like Rama was in need of a friend, Somebody else had to console him. In our lives also, many times we face this situation where we struggle actually to cope with our own emotions and thoughts. We need assistance from somebody outside. Our mind is in a low state. Okay, it fluctuates, right? Always it's very difficult to keep the mind on a high mood for anybody. Such situations, such challenges will come in our lives. So somebody else from outside, a friend, he's in a good mood, he's in high spirits at that point of time. He transfers his energy and spirits to us, so we will be consoled. That kind of consolation will be required, will be important at that particular point of time. Many times we see that friend or some relative, some of the one family members, they identify with our suffering and gives the right kind of advice and consolation. So we human beings need that kind of support. So here, Sugriva actually is assuaging the grief of Rama and says and promises to him that I will help you to trace Sita and help you to get reunited with her. Rama on his part promises to Sugriva that he will kill Vali and will help him actually to regain the throne of Kishkinda. So it's mutual benefit, It's friendship actually, it's solemnized, the presence of a fire. Hanuman helps there. And Sugriva wanted to befriend Rama and Rama wanted to befriend Sugriva. Now actually friendship is firmly established. Now Rama asks Sugriva, how come actually in the first place your brother turned hostile to you, Vali? How this animosity, how this enmity developed between two of you? Such close brothers they were. Then Sugriva narrates his own story, that there was a demon by name Mayavi, who is actually son of Maya. He once challenges Vali for a combat. At the dead of the night, he goes to Kishkinda and asks Vali to come for a fight. And Vali actually accepting the challenge of the demon actually comes out along with Sugriva. But after seeing Vali, he took to his heels this Mayavi. And actually he runs into a cave and disappears. Then Vali and Sugriva, they go to the mouth of the cave and they wait there for some time. And then Vali says that you be here. He extracts a oath from Sugriva. You be here, the entrance of the cave. I will go inside the cave and I will kill the demon and I will come out of the cave. So Vali enters into the cave. 1 month over, 3 months over, 5 months over, 6 months over, Sugriva was waiting near the mouth of the cave while he was not coming out. Some noises were heard, but Sugriva could not make out what were those noises, and some fight was happening. And after some time, after 1 year, he had waited there for 1 year. One day he saw blood streaming out of that cave, but he didn't see Vali. So then Sugriva concluded that Vali had been killed by the demon Mayavi. So what he thought, actually, Vali had been killed, and then he offered little water in honor of the deceased spirit. He thought actually Vali is dead, because he had waited there for 1 year. And then, thinking that that great demon might come out of the cave and kill him also, follow him and kill him also, what Sugriva does is, he actually brings a huge boulder, rock, and puts it at the entrance and closes the cave, so that the demon cannot come out. But then it was Vali who killed the Mayavi, not the other way around. So then Vali comes near the entrance. The entrance was closed with a boulder. But Vali is very great, a man of great, a vanara of a great might. He pushes aside the rock. In the meantime, Sugriva comes to Kishkinda, and also Vali's ministers, thinking that Vali got killed in the battle with the Mayavi, installs him on the throne of Kishkinda. Now Sugriva becomes the king. But Vali comes back, throwing aside that boulder, and comes back to the kingdom. Then he understands that Sugriva got cheated him, and deliberately, with the intention of killing him only, this Sugriva kept the boulder at the entrance of the cave. And he thought, he misunderstood his brother's intention, and he exiles him. He actually kicks him out of Kishkinda, and that is okay. But the mistake that he does is, he keeps the wife of his brother Sugriva, Ruma, with him. That is the mistake actually Vali has done. So now actually Sugriva has lost his wife, and also he has been banished from Kishkinda. So he is in deep distress. He has taken his shelter on Rishyamukha mountain. Vali can go anywhere in the world, but he cannot enter that Rishyamukha, because again he has the curse of Matanga. Not only this, Mayavi, his brother Dundubi also challenges Vali for a fight. So Vali kills this Dundubi and kicks that Kalevara, dead body of that huge demon Dundubi. Vali was so powerful that dead body actually fell near the hermitage of Matanga. So, but he spewed blood, that Dundubi, and a little blood actually got spattered in the precincts of the hermitage of this Matanga Maharshi. When Matanga Maharshi saw that blood in the hermitage, he saw that who has done this sacrilege. With his Divya Drushti, with his spiritual insight, he could know and understand it was Vali who had done. Then he actually pronounces a curse. Whoever has done this, if they enter into the precincts of this hermitage, they will be doing that at the pain of death. That means they will die. Matanga Maharshi has uttered a curse, pronounced a curse. Whoever has done this, whoever actually defiled my hermitage, with the blood of this demon, whoever has done this, if they enter into the precincts of this hermitage, they will die. For fear of this curse, Vali never dared go to Rishyamukha mountain. That's why Sugriva finds it as the safest haven for him. So Sugriva, along with his ministers, Hanuman and other ministers, he stays that in Rishyamukha mountain. Now he has befriended Rama. So now Sugriva asks Rama, my brother Vali is very powerful vanara. He's too powerful. He has extraordinary prowess and valor. I know actually how powerful he is. He has already killed this Dundubi and also Mayavi. Now, will you be able to kill my brother? Because you have promised, you have given me a promise that you will kill my brother Vali and help me get my wife back, and also install me on the throne of Kishkinda kingdom. But now actually I want to know your power, that you will be able to really kill my brother. So what should I do actually to instill confidence in you? Rama asks Sugriva. And Sugriva says that this dead body of Dundubi is here. Actually you just throw it away. I will see how far you can throw it. So Rama actually with his toe actually throws that actually Dundubi's Kalevara, dead body, carcass. And that actually has fallen from after 400 some yojanas, or hundreds of yojanas actually. But still Sugriva was not happy. This is great feat undoubtedly, but at the same time, this caliber actually has lost its weight because it's exposed to the sun. It's not actually the freshly dead body. So, it loses its weight after some time. It's only skeleton now. So that's why, because it's light skeleton, you could push it aside like this. You could actually throw it that far. But I just want to prove I just want you to prove your might again. What shall I do to instill confidence in you? Rama asks. With the help of your arrows, if you can actually pierce these salt trees. There are 7 salt trees, and he asks actually Rama to shoot an arrow and actually to pierce the salt tree. And Rama actually shoots his arrow. That arrow pierces through all the 7 salt trees and then topples a mountain peak and then actually enters into the bowels of the earth and then comes back into his Kipiva. And this really surprised Sugriva. Rama's might and power really surprises him. He just asks him actually to pierce only 1 salt tree, but a Ramabhana, it has nothing can resist Ramabhana. It just pierces through 7 salt trees and topples a mountain peak and then enters into the bowels of the earth and comes back and falls into the quiver of Rama. Now Sugriva is fully satisfied and fully happy. Yes, Rama has the capacity and power to kill my brother Vali. I am going to get back my wife. So Rama says then, okay, go now and challenge your brother for a fight. You challenge your brother Vali for a fight, for a duel, for a combat. Then Sugriva does as instructed by Rama. He goes there in the dead of the night, asks Vali to come for a battle. Vali gets enraged. This fellow who has been defeated by me many, many times, now he dares to challenge me. So Vali comes out with great rage, and then great battle ensued between the 2 brothers. Sugriva is also very strong and very powerful, but he was no match for Vali because Vali has a boon. Whoever actually comes in front of him, half of the energy of the enemy actually comes to him. So his own prowess plus half of the prowess of his opponent actually are there with him. So nobody can practically defeat him that way. Well, that is actually boon he has got. So in the battle actually they fought with boulder, they fought with the trees, and then all his bones got fractured. Sugriva tries to inflict some pain on his brother, and Vali also fights valiantly, and afterwards Sugriva finds it difficult to stand before his brother. He was expecting that Rama would shoot arrow, but no arrow was coming. He waited and waited and waited, but in the meantime got sufficient beating from his brother Vali, and unable to bear his brother, he actually took to his heels and runs to Rishyasringa again. Rama and Lakshmana goes back to him, and Rama expresses, his problem. He says, sorry, I couldn't shoot my arrow. Why? Sugriva asks, actually, you see how my brother has beaten me. Your brother and you look alike, actually. I found it difficult, actually, to know who is who. So you both look alike because you appear alike. So I don't know, actually. I might even, when I shoot an arrow, I might kill, instead of your brother, I might kill you. Because they resembled each other, in such a way, and exactly, like we said, twins. So Rama found it difficult. Who is Vali and who is Sugriva? Particularly in a battle, and if you don't know who is who, if I shoot the arrow instead of killing Vali, I might kill you. For fear of that, actually, I did not shoot an arrow, Rama says. And now Rama asked Lakshmana, so you have to have some identification to distinguish, to identify Sugriva in the battle. So he asks actually to put some Gajapushpa mala across his neck. Lakshmana uproots a creeper, Gajapushpa creeper, and then actually ties it around the neck of Sugriva. And Rama asks him, now you go. Again actually invite your brother Vali for a fight. Now Sugriva goes, again dead of the night, he asks Vali actually to come for a fight. And Vali was about to come out, but Tara actually dissuades him. No, you just see, just now he has been defeated by you, but again he comes and asks you for a challenge, for a battle. That means he must be with some ally. I heard that Rama and Lakshmana, the great warrior, the great sons of Dasharatha, were around, and so probably Sugriva might have befriended them. Otherwise, he would not have come back, so quickly, for a duel, for a fight. Tara advises him, Vali, not to go. You wait for night. Tomorrow you can go. So we can clearly see if somebody is there around, or actually Sugriva is relying on his own strength. Definitely he is not relying on his own strength. He has come so quickly again for a battle means that I am sure. So please don't go. Tara advises Vali. But Vali doesn't pay attention. He reproaches her, doesn't pay any, attention to her advice. No. How dare he, fellow, actually, just now he got defeated and again he comes for a fight. So Vali comes out in the dead of the night for a battle with Sugriva. And this time, Rama had no confusion. He could clearly see who is Sugriva and who is Vali, because Sugriva has that Gajapushpamala around his neck. He shoots his arrow. The arrow that pierces through 7 salt trees, topples a mountain top, and then enters into the bowels of the earth and comes back to his quiver, which is irresistible in the world. There is no foe, there is no missile, there is no astra which can resist Ramabhana. And that Ramabhana he shoots, but this, you just see the power of Vali. This Ramabhana also could not kill him just like that. He fell to the ground, but he didn't die. His breath did not leave him actually. His grace and his vital energy, they're all still there. And just he was lying in a pool of blood on the ground, that's all. That is because of gold chain. Vali actually had a gold chain across his neck given by his father Indra. He is Indra's Amsha. A man of actually great valor, a man of great prowess. And that's why actually he didn't die, he didn't breathe his last. His life force, his vital energy, and his grace, they were all intact. But he was just lying on the pool of blood. Breath did not leave just like that, even he was hit by Ramabhana. Tadastram tasya virasya swargamarga prabhananam Ramabhana sakchiptamavahat paramam gatim. So now actually Ramabhana is actually showing him the path of heaven. It's actually illumining his path to heaven. That Vali was experiencing that calmness or that supreme state of peace. Because it's not easy, it's not an ordinary fortune to be killed by Rama. But what happens if you get killed by somebody? That would be the last person you would be looking at, right? Here Vali, whom he was looking at he was looking at his enemy, Rama, there. So if somebody breathes actually is last, looking at the Lord actually, you will merge in Lord only. Really, you will merge in Lord only. So that kind of fortune is not available for ordinary people. But here Vali, being a man of exceptional vanara, of an exceptional strength, he had this good fortune of being killed by Rama. But now actually unable to bear the pain, actually he wanted to ask Rama, he wanted to have reason why you have killed me. I have not challenged you. We were not fighting the battle. You have killed me from behind a tree. Is it justifiable? You are a Kshatriya. You belong to a great lineage. How you justify your action? You explain me. I owe an explanation from you. So Vali indicts him. He just fell to the ground like a fire without flame. Like that Ayati of yore who fell from heaven after exhausting his merit. He just fell to the ground. Just like, the cosmic dissolution, at the time of cosmic dissolution, time swallows the power of the sun. Like that actually, his luster has gone and has just fallen to the ground. Now Vali is accusing Rama. You brought death on me who did not challenge you in the battle. The fight was not between you and me, the fight was between Sugriva and me. And now actually you hit me with your arrow from behind the tree. How such an action is justifiable of a Kshatriya like you? Rama, you are of a noble birth, you are of a noble descent, endowed with courage and compassion and goodness. How come actually you perform such an act? A king actually is supposed to have control over the senses. A king is supposed to be all forgiving. A king is supposed to be kind. A king is supposed to be truthful. But you don't seem to have all these qualities because you have done this injustice to me, because you have taken my life out of me. Tara actually has advised me not to go for the fight, but ignoring her advice, I came for the battle because I know the high pedigree that you belong to, the lineage, Ikshvaku lineage. All the kings who were born in this lineage were not mean. They were men of exceptional strength. They would follow Dharma strictly. Because I had that confidence, I came for the battle. Because I am fighting only with Sugriva, and I never thought I never expected that you would actually shoot arrow from behind a tree. So Rama actually is now wanted to give an explanation, but Sugriva, Vali went on accusing him. You are not virtuous. You appear to be a man of dharma, but you are just making a show of virtue. You are deceptive like a well covered with a scum. You know, a well that is covered with scum, actually, algae, you cannot see the water there. Like that, actually, you are deceptive, Rama. You are a hidden fire. You are not a real hero. I didn't commit any sin in your kingdom or in your capital. Why I deserve death in your hands? What harm I have done, actually? So you have done a wrong thing. You have erred. You are not actually a righteous man. You have not followed the virtue. I am not actually engaged in a combat with you. Actually, I am fighting with my brother, Sugriva. So, having been born in a Kshatriya race, how can you do such a cruel act of killing me like this? How far your action is justifiable? We are all beasts after all. Where is the question of conflict between beasts and human beings? We eat fruits in forest. We live on trees. How come actually you kill me? In what way actually your action is justifiable? So kings ought not to behave as they please. Now actually Vali is preaching dharma to Rama. Because of course actually the pain of, arrow pierced into his heart. You just imagine. Okay, he's on his last bed actually. Few minutes he is going to die. The pain of it actually makes him feel bitter about Rama. You have no respect for virtue. And now he is asking, having perpetrated an abominable act, how will you face good people, wise people? What explanation you will give to them? Oh Rama, you justify your action. Why did you kill Vali like this? By hiding behind the tree. Kim vakshasi satam madhye karma krutva jugupsitam. Abominable, detestable, loathsome. In a loathsome act, actually, this is a cowardly act, hitting me from behind the tree. So he says now, actually, further elaborating on dharma, actually. Regicide. Regicide means killing a king. Brahminicide, killing a brahmana or a spiritual seeker. So the slaughter of a cow. These are all actually slaughter of a cow. And also thieves, actually. A man who kills cows. And also thieves who kill others for plundering or for looting. A miser, an informer, a killer of a friend. And also somebody actually who violates the bed of Guru. All these people for sure go to hell. All these people for sure go to hell. So my flesh actually is not eaten by animals and human beings. Had I been any other animal like a deer or a boar or some other animal which is actually eaten by human beings, you may say that you are an animal, you are my food actually. We eat the meat of animals. So your action would have justified. But I am a 5-clawed animal. Among 5-clawed animals, only 5 are permitted to be eaten by Kshatriyas. What are those 5 animals? Rhinoceros. It is also 5-clawed. So it is dharma, it is shastra. Other animals you cannot touch which have 5 claws. Rhinoceros you can eat, iguana you can eat rabbit, you can eat tortoise, and you can eat porcupine. Look at these 5 animals which have 5 toes can be eaten, but a monkey is forbidden. A monkey's flesh is not to be eaten by human beings. So I being a monkey, I am not actually, my flesh is not useful to you. Then why did you kill me? That Vali is asking Rama. In what way? So I have been given advice by Tara, but I didn't pay attention to that advice of her, because I knew that you are a man of noble descent and you follow dharma, and so I had no fear of being killed in your hands. That's why I had come for the combat. So he went on accusing like this, and then he says, now, how come you are born to a noble person like Dasharatha? He is saying that Rama is papatma. Now he is saying, katam dasharatena tvam jataha, papo mahatmanaha. He is saying Dasharatha was a mahatma, a great soul. How come such a mahatma had begotten a papatma like you? So Vali is accusing Rama as papatma. So just as a man who is asleep is bitten by a snake, I have been killed by now. Just as a man who is asleep is bitten by a snake, I have been killed by you. This is not justifiable. All this you have done to please Sugriva, to oblige Sugriva. They actually Rama, befriend Sugriva. They actually decide to help each other. And Rama promises to Sugriva that he will kill Vali and help him actually get back his wife Ruma. But if you wanted, why you entered into friendship with Sugriva in the first place? because you wanted the help of Sugriva to trace Sita, I could have helped you. You could have come to me, you could have befriended me. Even if Mother Sita is kept in the midst of a ocean or Patala, I would have helped you trace her. I would have brought her from whichever the corner that she has been kept. I would have killed any number of demons to help you. Then you could have taken my help just to oblige Sugriva, just to keep the promise that you have made to Sugriva that you have killed me, but your action is not justifiable. I have unjustifiably slain by you, O Rama. So this is natural because he is full of grief and full of torment. Blood was oozing out of his body, and that arrow pierced into his heart. The pain of it, you can just imagine. Ityeva muktva parishushka vaktra sharabhigatad vyatito mahatma samikshya ramam ravisankasham tushnim bhabau vanara rajasunuhu. Then he came and he just kept quiet after saying this. Ityeva muktva parishushka vaktaha. His throat was and mouth was completely parched because blood was coming out of it. He had fought that battle with Sugriva and completely overpowered with thirst. Generally, actually, it happens before you breathe your last lot of thirst. Sarabhikatat vyatito mahatma. The pain of that arrow actually is piercing him in such a way. Samiksha Ramam Ravisam Nikasham. Looking at Rama actually, who is of the radiance of the sun. Tushnim Babau Vanara Rajasunuhu. He stopped his speech because he was not able to speak anymore, and he got exhausted and he just stopped until there. And now actually Rama is getting, because he wanted an explanation from Rama. Now Rama is giving explanation to him. Without knowing the secret of righteousness fully, you are indicting me, O Vanara, O mighty monkey. So out of simian frivolity, monkeys in general are very frivolous. Monkey mind, we say. What does mean by monkey? The monkey's mind means, monkey itself is very frivolous. Monkey mind means somebody who is so frivolous. How do you understand what is righteousness? You have not taken the advice of wise people, learned people, people who are learned in scriptures. So, we are the kings actually. We raise the entire earth. Now, Bharata is ruling this kingdom. And this kingdom, the whole earth actually belongs to the Ikshvakus. Manu actually, who is the progenitor of human beings, has given the entire earth to our ancestors, the people of Ikshvaku lineage. Our Ikshvaku, our great grandfather, he got this earth from the Manu himself, the creator, the progenitor of mankind. And so we are the rulers, we are the kings of this earth. And we enforce dharma upon people, whether the bees or birds or human beings. Whoever transgresses dharma, it is our responsibility to punish such people. So, we are doing according to the instructions of Bharata. Now, Bharata actually is the king of this earth. Bharata, the gentle king, the king actually who practices humility, who knows truthfulness, who actually is prudent and whose valor actually has no match. And that Bharata is ruling the earth now. We are his emissaries. We are actually on the move. We are actually ranging the kingdoms actually in the forest just to enforce dharma upon people who transgress dharma. So the globe belongs to Ikshvaku, Rama is telling now. So you are asking me that why I have killed, right? I tell you now. For a man of virtue, his elder brother, father, and guru who imparts spiritual instruction to him are like father only. Not just the father, elder brother, and guru. Three are like father for a man of virtue. And again, younger brother, son, and guru's son. Three should be treated like son only. His own son, younger brother, and guru's son, spiritual preceptor's son. They all must be treated as son only. For a man of virtue, if you have known righteousness, this is actually the conduct that you could have showed. This is how actually you need to behave with them. Now, Sugriva, being your brother, he is like a son. Sugriva's wife actually is daughter-in-law for you. Now you cohabit your daughter-in-law. Why you are asking why I have killed you, why I deserve this kind of punishment. And Rama is telling him, Sukshmaha parama durgneyam satam dharmaha plavangama hrudishtaha sarva bhutanam atma veda shubha shubham. Only the Atman, dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Who knows dharma? Atman knows dharma. Who is Atman? Atman is the Lord actually. Consciousness alone knows dharma. Atma Veda Shubha Shubham. Hridishtaha sarva bhutanam, dwelling in the hearts of every human being. But most of the times we get confused with regard to dharma because we are not established in Atman. We are so body-centered. Because of that, actually, we identify with mind and body. Though Atman is actually dwelling in our own heart, actually it is the source of our existence. Have we befriended Atman? Are we established in consciousness? Are we established in that pure awareness? Not yet. Right? That's why this confusion with regard to dharma. We rely upon our mind, but the mind is mixture of tamas, rajas and sattva. Accordingly, as you are dominated by tamas, rajas or sattva, you read actually the scriptures, you understand scriptures. Everybody actually feels that this is dharma, whatever I understand that is dharma. It cannot be. Only somebody who is established in self knows actually the path of dharma. Rama is telling to Vali, Sukshmaka Parama Durgneyam Satam Dharma Plavangama. O leader of the vanaras, O leader of the monkey, it is very subtle, it is not easy to comprehend the conduct and the behavior of the people who follow righteousness. So, chapalas chapalaihi sardam vanaraihi akrutatmapihi jatyandaiva jatyandaihi mantrayan prekshasenu kim. You yourself are a simian, a monkey, you yourself are frivolous, you yourself are fickle, right? And it's just you are actually giving sermons to other monkeys. A monkey is giving sermons to other monkeys. A monkey means actually frivolous. A monkey means fickle. How a fickle-minded monkey can understand what is dharma and what is adharma? Jati andaiva jati andaihi mantrayan. Somebody who is born blind actually instructing others who are born blind. Right? How it would be? Will they be able to know dharma? Not able to know dharma. That is the reason actually I am saying you do not know dharma. Nahimam kevalam roshatvam vigarhitumarhasi vanara. Kevalam roshat, just out of rage. I understand your pain, but out of rage you are indicting me, you are reproaching me, but I am not responsible for your death. Rama wants to tell him, Rama wants to put across that your own karma brought this fate to you. That is the same with every one of us. Most of the times we think actually God is also unkind to us. God is actually inflicting this suffering upon me. God is inflicting this punishment upon me. God is inflicting this pain upon me. No. God has no business. God is actually all compassionate. He is all merciful. That is true. That is a truthful statement. God will never inflict any pain. God is like a father and mother. He is ever compassionate actually. He wants us to do well only. He wants us to go beyond all our suffering. And why do we suffer? Again and again our dharma says, because of our karma only we suffer. Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha, Arjuna asked Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Then why people indulge in sinful activities? Kena prayuktoyam. Then the Lord says actually, rajoguna samudbhavaha, kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Because of rajoguna, that I need to enjoy more than others because of identification of the body, then we lose the discretion as to what is dharma and what is adharma. I want to enjoy this life more than others. So I want to have more material comforts. I want to have more money. I want to have more wealth. So you want to push aside others. Whoever comes in the way because you want to enjoy life more than others, you will do violence with others automatically. That will come upon you as bad karma and you will have to reap the fruit of your own action. Nobody can stop. Here Rama is saying that I am just an agent in the hands of the providence. Oh, you just see the world today. If we don't do that, laws are there, still actually people transgress laws, we know. Every one of us. So why there should be governance at all? Why there should be government? Why there should be courts? Why there should be laws? If everybody knows dharma and everybody follows dharma, not required. Not required, right? Though everybody knows that is dharma and adharma sometimes, we can understand, but still actually we gravitate towards adharma. That's the reason to keep human beings in a society, these courts, the laws, police are required. And you remove all that, anarchy will prevail. That means what? Even though they know what is dharma and adharma, actually we act in a dharmic way. It is a fear of punishment only that checks most of the people from indulging in sinful activities. That's why Rama is saying that your own karma brought this fate to you. We have just actually done the will of the providence and nothing else. Now I am explaining why I have killed you. Tadetat karanam pasyaidattam tvam maya hatah Bhratuvartyasi bharyayam tyaktva dharmam sanatanam. Bhratuvartyasi bharyayam. So you have kept your brother's wife, who is like daughter-in-law to you. Tyaktva dharmam sanatanam. By giving up the sanatana dharma, by transgressing sanatana dharma, you have done the sinful act of keeping the wife of your brother, younger brother, who is like daughter-in-law to you. This is actually transgression that you have made. Tad vyatitasya te dharmat kama vrittasya vanara bhratrubhariha vimarshayasmin dandoyam pratipaditaha. Therefore, this punishment actually is given to you. This punishment has been decided for you because of this transgression of dharma. So now actually Vali has understood. And Rama says, and moreover, when somebody kills an animal, when you go to a forest actually, when we kill animals actually, how we will kill the animals? We will actually put noose, we will put different kinds of traps, and mostly we can behind the trees only. The person who actually, the hunter stays behind the trees, right? Hunter doesn't go in front of the animal directly. Now you being an animal actually, it is justifiable to kill you like that. So now actually Vali becomes calm and quiet. So he looks at Rama, actually understands what actually unrighteous act that he had performed, why actually he deserved that kind of punishment. What you have said, Nareshwara, is true. Rama, what you are saying is true. A dwarf cannot argue with a giant. You are a moral giant. You are a man of dharma. You are an embodiment of dharma. You understand dharma. I don't understand dharma as much as you understand. Fine. Dharma samhitaya vacha dharmajnyaha paripalaya. So you rule over us actually according to dharma. Now actually Vali is saying that I don't grieve because of myself. Death is not actually a big thing for me. I am ready to die. I don't grieve for my wife's sake, Tara's sake, but actually I grieve for the sake of my son Angada. He's as powerful as I am actually, but he's not mature. That boy, who will take care of that boy? That is my worry. So please give him as much love as you give to Lakshmana and Bharata. The same love that you give to Lakshmana and Bharata, try to give same love to my son Angada and my Sugriva also. And this Sugriva might disrespect Tara, but Tara, please not to be blamed for, though actually she is guilty because I have been guilty. Otherwise there is no fault with her, though she advised me not to fight against you and I have come for the battle. And now actually please take care of my wife and take care of my son. Actually this is what actually Vali is asking of Rama. And seeking death in your hands actually, I enter into this duel now, he is telling. I could have listened to Tara but didn't listen. Why? Because I wanted to die in your hands. Now Vali is telling the secret. That means it's not an easy. Vali also is a man of a vanara of exceptional strength and exceptional understanding. To be killed by Rama itself is a great blessing, he is thinking. Really it's a great blessing. Because now actually he is able to see, he is looking at the beautiful face of Rama actually. Lord, he is looking at it. Antakalesha, smaran muktva kalevaram. It's not a question of smarana now actually. The Lord himself had come in front of you and you are seeing the form of the Lord and you are breathing your last. What can be a greater fortune actually than this? So Vali is really happy in that way. Rama gives an assurance to Vali. Don't worry, no anxiety on the score of Angada. Angada will be well taken care of by Sugriva and I will also look after him. You have actually regained your spiritual nature through this punishment. Rama actually quotes Manu there actually. So the punisher and the punished actually. Rama has given the punishment to Vali now. So because of this punishment, you have become pure. Your soul has become pure. So whoever does actually something wrong, he or she should be prepared for punishment also. And most of the times what we do, though our action is not justifiable, we try to defend ourselves. Okay? According to our own logic. No, I have not done any mistake. I have not done anything wrong. No, what I have done is right only. No. So when you have done something wrong, at least you should have the humility to say, to confess that yes, I have done something wrong, I deserve some punishment for this. If you accept that punishment without any regrets, resentments, that will purify your soul. So now here, Vali actually is indicting Rama, and Rama is saying, I am not responsible for this fate of yours. Your own karma brought you to this fate. I am just an instrument in the hands of providence. So when you understand that, you don't blame Rama. You will not have any regrets. You will not collect any resentments. You will not become bitter. Okay? But when you see that this guy is responsible by suffering, and naturally that you will develop animosity towards that individual, and you will not rectify your mistake, and you will still justify your action, though it's not justifiable. All this will happen with us, right? Every time we see in the society, that is a problem. But now Vali actually, because being a monkey of exceptional strength, surrendered to Rama now. Surrender actually requires great strength. That's why the topic today is mighty vanaras, surrender to the Prince of Dharma. Now actually Vali saw he had erred. What he had done is a grave mistake. keeping the wife of his brother, who is like a daughter-in-law, it's an unforgivable mistake. So I deserve this kind of death, this kind of punishment. And now actually he agrees, yes, I understand. This is dharma, I have erred, I have done wrong. I have transgressed virtue, and now I deserve this punishment. So he is not blaming Rama anymore. He has become quiet, he has become calm. Great peace has come upon his soul. Only worry, only anxiety he had was for the sake of Angada, and Rama gives him that assurance. Then Rama is saying, Tejashokam cha moham cha bhayam cha hrudame sthitam tvaya vitanam haryagra na shakyam ativartitum. Even I cannot transgress actually. So not that I had any grudge against you, and that's why I wanted to inflict punishment upon you, and I have come here to intend on punishing you. No such thing. Oh vanara, just take things in your stride, and nobody is responsible for your suffering. You alone are responsible for your suffering actually. That's how actually Rama assuages the grief of Vali. So because of his might, because of his spiritual might, Vali, just little only Rama had to explain that where he had gone wrong. Immediately he realized this. Yes. Of course, before that, Tara also. And the beauty of the story is, subsequently, Tara comes and actually weeps over, that we can take up next week, weeps over the dead body of Vali. And there also, she never indicted Rama. In that grief also, okay, now her husband actually had been killed by Rama. But in that terrible grief also, she did not indict Rama. I told you already actually, don't keep Roma like that. It's not justifiable. That's not an act of righteousness. You're transgressing virtue. I advise you against you. Same actually, if you see Ravana also, Mandodari also. Mandodari says to Ravana before, you have done an unrighteous act. It's not right on your part actually to abduct the wife of somebody else and keep her here in your captivity. Give her back to him, Rama. So many times. Vibhishana advised Ravana. Mandodari advises. She was also Mahapativrata, very, very pure lady, Mandodari. But Ravana did not listen to her. Here Vali did not listen to Tara. Mandodari did not listen to Ravana. Thus ultimately they had to die. So it is only our karma that brings pain, death and punishment upon us. Nobody else needs to be blamed for. Once we understand this, we will immediately surrender to the will of the divine. So once you have that surrender, you will have absolute peace. Otherwise, you will be questioning, I have not done anything wrong. And this individual is responsible, that individual is responsible, my suffering. This is all the trouble, right? Every time. So even to surrender, it requires great strength. To accept that, yes, I have erred. To accept that I have done a wrong action. To accept that, yes, what I did is not right. It requires courage. It requires strength. Develop this kind of strength. So while he surrenders, yes, I deserve this punishment. And he doesn't indict Rama anymore, he says. He became now looking at Rama's beautiful face of Rama. And he breathes a last looking at Rama. And he has attained to the highest state of heaven. So, next class, we shall take up Tara Vilapa, the distress of Tara. This is also another beautiful episode in Ramayana. There is so much to discuss and to talk about. We will take up only 14 classes. 11th is over, maximum another 3. We will try to complete it by the end of this month. Next month, how Tara reacted to the situation, how actually she wept, and who consoled her, how she got consoled. Hanuman consoles us. A beautiful philosophy is there. Nobody else is responsible for human beings suffering actually. You yourself are in a pitiable condition now. You are weeping over the dead body of your husband. Is that actually you are not going to die anytime in future? Are we permanent? Are we going to be here forever? So, there is no point in grieving over the dead people. We are also going to die. If we are deathless, if we are immortals, you can grieve over the people who are dead. But we are not immortals. We are also going to die tomorrow. It's just a matter of time. Somebody has died a little early and tomorrow I am going to die. So instead of grieving over the dead people, what we should be doing is we should meditate on God. We should think of God. We should pray to God. We should repeat God's name. To save ourselves from death before Yama comes, we should turn to spiritual practices. If you are actually grieving over somebody who is dead means, we are indirectly saying that I am not going to die. So this is ignorance. So Hanuman tries, actually afterwards Rama also consoles her. Finally she gets consoled after a lot of persuasion and consolation, because she wanted to give up her body by entering Prayo Pravesa. She says, I will abstain from food, I will not eat food, and I want to go to heaven along with my beloved husband Vali. Vali cannot be happy even in heaven without me, so I must follow my husband. She wanted Sati Sagamana, she wanted to kill herself. But after much persuasion from Sugriva, Hanuman, and Rama, she desists from that action. That we shall study in the next class. So we shall meditate for 2 minutes before we disperse. This rain also you could come, you are great.
प्रभु मन वचनैकाधार ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवुज्ज्वल हृदि कंदर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवुज्ज्वल हृदि कंदर तुमि तम भंजनहार प्रभु तुमि तम भंजनहार नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनादित नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनादित मन वचनैकाधार प्रभु मन वचनैकाधार ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवुज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवुज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर तुमि तम भंजनहार प्रभु तुमि तम भंजनहार धृ लंग रंग भंग बाजे अंगसंग मृदंग रे 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 लंग रंग भंग बाजे अंगसंग मृदंग गाय छंद भगत वृंद आरती तुम्हार गाय छंद भगत वृंद आरती तुम्हार जय जय आरती तुम्हार हर हर आरती तुम्हार शिव शिव आरती तुम्हार
ॐ ह्रीं ऋतं फमचलो गुणजित् गुणेभ्यः नक्तं दिवं सकरुणं तव पादपद्मम् मोहङ्कषं बहुकृतं न भजे यतोऽहं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो भक्तिर्भगश्च भजनं भवभेदकारे गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्त्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृप्ता तृष्णा रागे कृते ऋतपथे त्वयि रामकृष्णे मर्त्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मि नाशम् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारे शान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नाम नाथ यस्मात् त्वशरणो जगदेक गम्या तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। सर्वमङ्गल माङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। सृष्टि स्थितिविनाशानां शक्ति भूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। शरणागता दीनार्ता परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्थे हरे देवी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते।
कृतिं परमाम् अभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जनतापहरं शरणागतसेवकतोषकरे प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां गुणहीनसुतान् अपराधयुतान् कृपयाद्य समुद्धर मोहगतान् तरणीं भवसागर पारकरे प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां विषयं कुसुमं परिहृत्य सदा चरणाम्बुरुहामृतशान्तिसुधां पिबभृङ्गमनो भवरोगहरान् प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां कृपां कुरु महादेवी सुतेषु प्रणतेषु च चरणाश्रयदानेन कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते रामकृष्णगतप्राणा तन्नाम श्रवणप्रिया तद्भावरञ्जिताकारा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणतातिहन्त्रीं योगीन्द्रपूज्यां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यं स्नेहेन बध्नासि मानोस्मदीयं दोषानशेषान् सगुणीकरोषि आहेतुनानोदयसे सदोषान् स्वाङ्के गृहीत्वा यदिदं विचित्रं प्रसीद मातर्विनयेन याचे नित्यं भव स्नेहवते सुतेषु प्रेमैकबिन्दुं चिरदग्धचित्ते विषिञ्च चित्तं कुरु न सुशान्तं जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः
जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। प्राणनाथ रघुनाथ मुरारी, प्राणनाथ रघुनाथ मुरारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। शुक नारद मुनि सादर गावे, शुक नारद मुनि सादर गावे, भरत शत्रुघ्ना चवर डुलावे, भरत शत्रुघ्ना चवर डुलावे, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। पीतवसन वैजयन्ती माला, पीतवसन वैजयन्ती माला, मेघवर्ण तनो नयन विशाला, मेघवर्ण तनो नयन विशाला, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। छत्र धरत है लक्ष्मण भ्राता, छत्र धरत है लक्ष्मण भ्राता, आरती करत है कौसल्य माता, आरती करत है कौसल्य माता, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। सम्मुख शरण रहे हनुबीरा, सम्मुख शरण रहे हनुबीरा, बार बार गुना गावे कबीरा, बार बार गुना गावे कबीरा, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी, जय जय आरती राम तुम्हारी। श्रीनाथे जानकी नाथे अभेदः परमात्मने, तथापि मम सर्वस्व रामः कमललोचनः। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। वर्णानामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ। याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणो वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानो कवीश्वरकपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम् यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुराः यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेव भाति भवाम्भोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम् प्रसन्नतां यानगताभिषेकतः तथा न मम्लौ वनवासदुःखतः मुखाम्बुज श्रीरघुनन्दनस्य मे सदास्तु सा मञ्जुलमङ्गलप्रदा नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पानौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम् मूलं धर्मतरोर्विवेकजलधेः पूर्णेन्दुमानन्ददम् वैराग्याम्बुजभास्करं त्वघहरं ध्वान्तापहं तापहम् मोहाम्बोधरपुञ्जपाटनविधौ खे सम्भवं शङ्करं वन्दे ब्रह्मकुले कलङ्कशमनं श्रीरामभूपप्रियम् सान्द्रानन्दपयोदसौभगतनुं पीताम्बरं सुन्दरं पानौ बाणशरासनं कटिलस तूणीरबारं वरम् राजीवायतलोचनं धृतजटाजूटेन संशोभितं सीतालक्ष्मणसंयुतं पथिगतं रामाभिरामं भजे कुन्देन्दीवरसुन्दरावतिबलौ विज्ञानधामावुभौ शोभाढ्यौ वरदन्विनौ श्रुतिनुतौ गोविप्रवृन्दप्रियौ मायामानुषरूपिणौ रघुवरौ सद्धर्मवन्तौ हितौ सीतान्वेषणतत्परौ पथिगतौ भक्तिप्रदौ तौ हिनः ब्रह्माम्भोधिसमुद्भवं कलिमलप्रध्वंसनं चाव्ययं श्रीमच्छम्भुमुखेन्दुसुन्दरवरे संशोभितं सर्वदा संसारामयभेषजं सुमधुरं श्रीजानकी जीवनं धन्यास्ते कृतिनः पिबन्ति सततं श्रीरामनामामृतम् शान्तं शाश्वतमप्रमेयमनघं निर्वाणशान्तिप्रदं ब्रह्माशम्भुफणीन्द्रसेव्यमनिशं वेदान्तवेद्यं विभुं रामाख्यं जगदीश्वरं सुरगुरुं मायामनुष्यं हरिं वन्देऽहं करुणाकरं रघुवरं भूपालचूडामणिं केकीकण्ठाभनीलं सुरवरविलसद्विप्रपादाब्जचिह्नं शोभाढ्यं पीतवस्त्रं सरसिजनयनं सर्वदा सुप्रसन्नं पानौ नाराचचापं कपिनिकरयुतं बन्धुना सेव्यमानं नौमीड्यं जानकीशं रघुवरमनिशं पुष्पकारूढरामम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डन्तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पक आसने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यैः परं व्याख्यातं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। नान्या स्पृहा रघुपते हृदये स्मदीये सत्यं वदामि च भवान् अखिलान्तरात्मा भक्तिं प्रयच्छ रघुपुङ्गवा निर्भरा मे कामादिदोषरहितं कुरु मानसं च। ॐ श्री सीतालक्ष्मी लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत् समेत श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम। शेषतल्पसुखनिद्रित राम ब्रह्माद्यमरा प्रार्थित राम। चण्डकिरणकुलमण्डन राम श्रीमद्दशरथनन्दन राम। कौसल्यासुखवर्धन राम विश्वामित्र प्रियधन राम। घोरताटकाघातक राम मारीचादिनिपातक राम। कौशिकमख संरक्षक राम श्रीमद्योद्धारक राम। गौतम मुनि संपूजित राम सुरमुनिवरगण संस्तुत राम। नाविक धावित मृदुपद राम मिथिलापुरजन मोहक राम। विदेह मानस रंजक राम त्र्यंबक कार्मुक भंजक राम। सीतार्पित वरमालिक राम कृतवैवाहिक कौतुक राम। भार्गवदर्प विनाशक राम श्रीमदयोध्या पालक राम। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम।
शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक
परमेश्वर राम। अगणित गुणगण भूषित राम अवनीतनया कामित राम। राकाचन्द्र समागन राम पितृवाक्याश्रित कानन राम। प्रिय गुह विनिवेदित पद राम तत्क्षालित निज मृदु पद राम। भरद्वाज मुख नंदक राम चित्रकूटाद्रिनिकेतन राम। दशरथ संतत चिंतित राम कैकेयी तनयातित राम। विरचित निज पितृकर्म राम भरतार्पित निज पारुक राम। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम। दंडक वनजन पावन राम दुष्ट विराध विनाशक राम। शरभंग सुतीक्ष्ण अर्चित राम अगस्त्य अनुग्रह वर्धित राम। वृद्धाधिप संसेवित राम पंचवटी तट सुस्थित राम। शूर्पणखाति विधायक राम खरदूषण मुख सूरक राम। सीता प्रिय हरिनानुग राम मारीचादिनुदाशुग राम। विनष्ट सीतान्वेषक राम गृध्राधिपगतिदायक राम। शबरी दत्त फलाशन राम कबंध बाहुच्छेदक राम। हनुमत सेवित निज पद राम नत सुग्रीवाभीष्टद राम। गर्दित वायु संहारक राम प्राणाधारकरां दुष्टदशाननदूषितरां शिष्टहनुमद्भूषितरां सीतावेदितककवनरां कृतचूडामणिदर्शनरां कपिवरवचनाश्वासितरां रावणनिधनप्रस्थितरां वानरसैन्यसमावृतरां शोषितसरिदिशातितरां विभीषणाभयदायकरां पर्वतसेतुनिबन्धकरां कुम्भकर्णशिरच्छेदकरां राक्षससङ्घविमर्दकरां अहिमहिरावणचारणरां संहृतदशमुखरावणरां विधिभवमुखसुरसंस्तुतरां हस्तितदशरथवीक्षितरां सीतादर्शनमोदितरां अभिषिक्तविभीषणनतरां पुष्पकयानारोहणरां भरद्वजाभिनिषेवनरां भरतप्राणप्रियकररां साकेतपुरीभूषणरां सकलश्रियसमानतरां रत्नलसत्पीठास्थितरां पट्टाभिषेकालङ्कृतरां पार्थिवकुलसम्मानितरां विभीषणार्पितरङ्गकरां ईशकुलानुग्रहकररां सकलजीवसंरक्षकरां समस्तलोकाधारकरां शुभब्रह्मपरात्पररां कालात्मकपरमेश्वररां शुद्धब्रह्मपरात्पररां कालात्मकपरमेश्वरराम् आगतमुनिगणसंस्तुतरां विश्रुतदशकण्ठोद्भवरां सीतालिङ्गननिवृतरां नीतिसुरक्षितजनपदरां विपिनत्याजितजनकजरां कारितलवनासुरवधरां स्वर्गतशम्भुकसंस्तुतरां स्वतनयकुशलवनन्दितरां अश्वमेधक्रतुदीक्षितरां कालावेदितसुरपदरां आयुध्यगजनमुक्तिधरां विधिमुखविबुधानन्दकरां तेजोमयनिजरूपकरां संसृतिबन्धविमोचकरां धर्मस्थापनतत्पररां भक्तिपरायणमुक्तिधरां सर्वचराचरपालकरां सर्वभवामयवारकरां वैकुण्ठालयसंस्थितरां नित्यानन्दपदस्थितरां राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय राजा राम जय सीताराम राम जय राजा राम राम जय सीताराम राम जय राजा राम राम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय राजा राम जय सीताराम राम जय राजा राम जय सीताराम राम जय राजा राम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय राजा राम जय सीताराम। शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम, कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम। भयहर मंगल दशरथ राम, जय जय मंगल सीताराम। भयहर मंगल दशरथ राम, जय जय मंगल सीताराम। मंगल कर जय मंगल राम, संगत शुभ विभवोदय राम। मंगल कर जय
मंगल राम, संगत शुभ विभवोदय राम।
आनंदामृत वर्षक राम, आश्रित वत्सल जय जय राम। आनंदामृत वर्षक राम, आश्रित वत्सल जय जय राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। 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 भयहर मंगल दशरथ राम, जय जय ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಸನಕಾದಿಕ ಮುನಿ ಮಾನಸ ಸನಕಾದಿಕ ಮುನಿ ಮಾನಸ ಸದನಾನಘ ಭೂಮಾ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಶರಣಾಗತ ಸುರನಾಯಕ ಚಿರಕಾಮಿತ ಕಾಮ ಶರಣಾಗತ ಸುರನಾಯಕ ಚಿರಕಾಮಿತ ಕಾಮ ಧರಣಿ ತಲತರನ ದಶರಥ ನಂದನ ರಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಭೀಷಿತಾಶನ ಅನಿತಾವಧ ಜಗದಾನಂದ ರಾಮ ಭೀಷಿತಾಶನ ವನಿತಾವಧ ಜಗದಾನಂದ ರಾಮ ಭೂಷಿಕಾತ್ಮಜ ಮಖರಕ್ಷಣ ಚರಿತಾದ್ಭುತ ರಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಧನಿ ಗೌತಮ ಗೃಹಿಣಿ ಸ್ವಜ ಅಘಮೋಚನ ರಾಮ ಧನಿ ಗೌತಮ ಗೃಹಿಣಿ ಸ್ವಜ ಅಘಮೋಚನ ರಾಮ ಮುನಿ ಮಂಡಲ ಬಹುಮಾನಿತ ಪದ ಪಾವನ ರಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಜನಕಾಖಿಲ ಧಾಮ ಕನಕಾಂಬರ ಕಮಲಾಸನ ಸ್ಮರ ಶಾಸನ ಸುಶರಾಸನ ಲಘು ಭಂಜನ ರಾಮ ಸ್ಮರ ಶಾಸನ ಸುಶರಾಸನ ಲಘು ಭಂಜನ ರಾಮ ನರ ನಿರ್ಜರ ಜನರಂಜನ जनकाखिल धामा कनकाम्बर कमलासन कुसुमायुध तनु सुन्दर कमलानन रामा कुसुमायुध तनु सुन्दर कमलानन रामा वसुमानित भृग संभव मदमर्दन रामा कनकाम्बर कमलासन जनकाखिल धामा कनकाम्बर कमलासन करुणारस वरुणालय नतवत्सल रामा करुणारस वरुणालय नतवत्सल रामा शरणं तव चरणं भवहरणं मम रामा शरणं तव चरणं भवहरणं मम रामा शरणं तव चरणं भवहरणं मम रामा कनकाम्बर कमलासन जनकाखिल धामा कनकाम्बर कमलासन आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामचन्द्राय रामभद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः अतुलितबलधामं स्वर्णशैलाभदेहं धनुजवनकृशानुं वानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिवरदूतं वातजातं नमामि गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामाय नमः मालारत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं विनाशनम् कपीशमक्षहन्तारम् वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजाया आदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् ॐ इति अष्टोत्तरशतनाम रामायणं समाप्तम्।
నామావళి అనుసరించండి. శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ శ్రీరామ్ జయ రామ్ జయ జయ రామ ఓం Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. One, two, two, ఒకటి రెండు రెండు. मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीयगुणाब्धये चक्रवर्तितनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलं वेदवेदान्तवेद्याय मेघश्यामलमूर्तये पुंसामोहनरूपाय पुण्यश्लोकाय मङ्गलम् विश्वामित्रान्तरङ्गाय मिथिलानगरीपते भाग्यानां परिपाकाय भव्यरूपाय मङ्गलम् पितृभक्ताय सततं भ्रातृभिः सह सीतया नन्दिताखिललोकाय रामभद्राय मङ्गलम् त्यक्तसाकेतवासाय चित्रकूटविहारिणे सेव्याय सर्वयमिनां धीरोदाराय मङ्गलम् सौमित्रिणा च जानक्य चापबाणासिधारिणे संसेव्याय सदा भक्त्या स्वामिने मम मङ्गलम् दण्डकारण्यवासाय खण्डितामरशत्रवे गृध्रराजाय भक्ताय मुक्तिदायास्तु मङ्गलम् सादरं शबरीदत्त फलमूलाभिलाषिणे सौलभ्यपरिपूर्णाय सत्त्वोद्रिक्ताय मङ्गलम् हनुमत्समवेताय हरीशाभीष्टदायिने वाले प्रमथनायास्तु महाधीराय मङ्गलम् श्रीमते रघुवीराय सेतुलङ्घितसिन्धवे जितराक्षसराजाय रणधीराय मङ्गलम् आसाद्य नगरीं दिव्याम् अभिषिक्ताय सीतया राजाधिराजराजाय रामभद्राय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलाशासनपरैः मदाचार्यपुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्। सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्। सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्।
Few announcements. Coming Wednesday, on 13th July, Guru Purnima festival will be celebrated in the Mutt premises in a grand manner. All the devotees can participate in this program and obtain the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. After the announcement, Revered Adhyaksha Maharaj will meet the devotees at Mutt office meeting hall. Devotees can offer pranams and discuss with Swamiji. వచ్చే బుధవారం జూలై 13వ తేదీ గురు పూర్ణిమ పర్వదినం మఠంలో వైభవంగా నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. భక్తులు ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో ఎక్కువ సంఖ్యలో పాల్గొని భగవాన్ శ్రీరామకృష్ణ కృపకు పాత్రలు కావాల్సిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి. అలాగే అనౌన్స్మెంట్ అనంతరం పూజ్య అధ్యక్ష మహారాజ్ మఠం ఆఫీస్ సమావేశ మందిరంలో సమావేశమవుతారు. భక్తులు ప్రణామాలు అర్పించి స్వామీజీతో సంభాషించే సదవకాశాన్ని సద్వినియోగపరచుకోవాల్సిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి.
जय राजा रामचंद्र देव की जय। जय श्री सीता माई की जय। जय महावीर स्वामी जी की जय। भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण देव की जय। श्री शारदा माई की जय। स्वामी विवेकानंद महाराज जी की जय।